Hello, everyone, and welcome to Crafting with Delonda. It's me again, Delonda, and thank you so much for joining me today. This tutorial is all about how to create your own design. So the bulk of this tutorial will be in Cricut Design Space. If you find it helpful, please remember to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the bell for notifications because I do upload new content every single week. Now, without further ado, let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is go to the dafont.com website, and I am going to narrow my search for fonts that are 100% free. So right here in this area, I clicked on the option for 100% free in case I find a font that I want to use and I want to be able to use it commercially. So I'm clicking here and I click submit. I also typed in the text that I'm planning to use just so I can see a display of it as I'm going along. The font that I ultimately chose is this one that's called LT Energy. I can see that it's 100% free. There are 13 different options included, and it's been downloaded 199,000 times. So I clicked on the option to download it. I had to download this font. Also, I had to extract it and install it. Once I was finished with all of that, I went in to Cricut Design Space. Let's go there now. I am in Cricut Design Space and I'm connected to my Cricut Explorer 2. The first thing that I'm going to do now that I already have my text and it has been extracted and installed, I am going to go over here to the left and grab a shape. I'm grabbing a square, not the one that has the rounded corners, just the regular basic square. I'm going to close this out and I'm going to right click and duplicate the square. I'll put one down here and I'll move this one over. With this first square, I'm going to unlock the proportions and change the width to 8. And I'm changing the height to 9. Okay, and I'm measuring in inches. Now what I'm going to do is grab this second square and I'm also going to change the proportions. So I'm going to unlock this one and I'm changing the width to 7.85 and I'm changing the height to 2.85. Okay. Now with this second rectangle right here, I'm going to change the color just so we can see it. I'm changing it to this green right here. And what I'll do is put this on top. I want to still be able to see somewhat of a border. So I don't want it to be all the way at the top. And I will select the square, the two squares basically, or the two rectangles. And I will click on the option to align and center horizontally. Now with both selected, I can look at my layers panel. Remember, when you start to slice, slicing only works when you have 2 layers selected. I have 2 layers selected, so I am going to click slice down here at the bottom. Now I have the rectangle and the top part of it is missing. I have this green rectangle and I have this black piece. I'm going to delete the black layer. Okay? So now I'm going to take the green rectangle and put it right back on top, but this time I'm going to put it at the bottom of the rectangle, and I'm still going to make sure I have somewhat of a border, and I'm going to select both, and I'm going to click align, center horizontally. This looks great, and I'm going to slice. Now with both parts open, I can save this. I want to just turn it off. And for this black layer, I'm going to delete it. So now if we're working together, we both have the same thing on our canvas, and that's just a box, and it is measured at 8 inches in width by 9 inches in height. There are 2 pieces missing at the top and bottom. Now I'm going to bring the view down on my canvas to right at 75%. And what I'm going to do now is grab a text box. I'm going to click on the T for text. I have my caps lock on, and I'm going to grab that text that was called LT Energy. And I'm going to click up here in the font, and it's called LT Energy, just like this. And I'm going to double click in there, and I'm going to type the word straight, STRAIGHT, just like that. And what I want to do with this text is duplicate it twice. So I'm going to right click, I'm going to click duplicate, right click, duplicate. I'm going to move these two down right here. This first one, I am going to click the option in the bottom of the layers panel to attach this. And I want to change the color. I'll just change the color to red for now, just so we can see it. The reason why I am attaching this is because I want to be able to resize this, and I don't want any of the text to wrap around. I want the letters to stay straight in the line, just like this. So I'll move this over, and I will make sure it fits in this box. Okay, like that, just like that. I think that looks great. Now I'm going to select the text and the box. I'm selecting both, and I'm going to click the option to align center horizontally. This looks great. Now, if I wanted to just use all one color, of course I can, but right now I'm just going to keep this on red just so we can see it. The next thing I'm going to do is select my second line of text, and this time I'm going to double click, and I'm changing the text to outa. OUTTA. Remember, my caps lock is on. This time, instead of attaching this, I am going to weld the text. So I'm coming down here to combine, and I'm going to go to weld. And what I want to do is I'm going to change this to red, even though it really is not going to matter what color I change it to. I'm going to move it over here to the top of this center line, and I'm going to resize it so that it fits in there nicely and so that it is centered. So I can make it wider if I want to, just as long as it fits in here and there's still somewhat of a border. Now, with the text selected, now let's make this a little bit thinner, like that. Now, with this text selected, the welded word outa, I'm going to select that, and I'm also going to hold my shift key and select the box. I have two layers selected. Remember, slice only works with two layers selected. I'm going to click the option to slice. Oh, let me undo that, because instead of slicing this first, what I want to make sure is that it's centered. So I'm going to once again select the text. I'm going to select the box. I'm going to click the option to align center horizontally and slice now. Okay, so I can move this text, and I can actually delete this. I can move this, and I can also delete this. So now I have straight and I have outa. And then right here, since I have one more line of text, this is where you can start to personalize it. And with this template that you're creating, you can be as creative as you want to be. You can type straight out of Patience, or straight out of Vacation Days, or straight out of Glitter HTV, straight out of Cardstock, straight out of church, straight out of Bible study, straight out of, whatever you want yours to be. If you're moving from one state to another, it could be straight out of Cali, straight out of Florida, straight out of Texas. It could be straight out of Craft Supply, straight out of Money. If you just graduated from college, it could be straight out of college. It could be whatever you want yours to be. Now, because I have so many craft supplies and so many machines, my template is going to say straight out of storage space, because that is a true story, but I cannot wait to see what yours will look like. So right here, remember, this is still just text. So here, I would just type straight out of storage space, and I'm going to, once again, I'm going to attach this, and I am going to bring this over and once again, I'm going to make it bigger and I'm going to resize it so that it fits nicely in here. Now, I could change the color of this to red, just like the top word, straight out of storage space, so that my template looks like this. I would still want to make sure that it is centered, so I will select the two words storage space, hold my shift key, select the box, and I will click on the option to align center horizontally. I think this looks great. Now, I could have it just like this, right? Or I could just make my template all one color and just go with it like that. So I could select the first word, which is in red right now. Let's see, where's my first word? And I can change this to black. Oh, here it is right here. I can change this to, let's move this. Right here, my first word, which is straight, and I can change it to black. And then I could, once again, select everything, and I could do, align center horizontally, make sure. And I could weld the whole thing, or I could attach the whole thing. This is completely up to, you or, for the person you're making this for. And because I'm using a font that is 100% free, this is something that I could sell. Maybe if I had an Etsy shop, I could sell a digital file, or I could sell it and personalize it for my customer. Now, because I want to put this on a t-shirt, I want to make sure that it's big enough to, fit a shirt that is in my size. I'm going to be using a medium shirt. And typically I like for the width of my shirt to be right at 10.5. So right here, I would just change this to 10.5. And my proportions are locked, so I'm going to unlock it because I don't want to have to use a bigger mat. And I'm just going to change the height of mine to 11.4. Okay, I think this looks great. And so now what I would do is just click on make. I don't need to save this. I already have one that's saved. And I would click continue. And what I would do now is select, whatever kind of vinyl or whatever I'm using, and I would get this cut out. So in my case, I am going to be using glitter vinyl, and I will get this complete. So I am going to finish this process, but this is the full tutorial because I don't really need to go into, demonstrating how to use glitter vinyl. However, if you want to see that part, keep watching, stay tuned. I am going to do the rest of this back on the camera. Okay, so I'm finished weeding, and now I'm going to get this pressed on my t-shirt. Now with this template, I weeded the space around the letters. In the center part, I weeded the actual letters, and then once again, I weeded the space around the letters. So if you're making yours like this, remember here in the middle, you remove the actual letters that you would normally keep. All right, so now let's move over to the heat press and just quickly get this pressed. Here's my shirt. I'm going to fold it in half, get a crease down the middle, and I am going to get this pressed. Temperature is set at 325 for 15 seconds. This is all glitter vinyl. This is the Caesar brand of Caesar Glitter HTV. I'm going to press this on my shirt for 15 seconds. Okay, so this is always my favorite part. This is my finished shirt. Hopefully you have found this process helpful. I cannot wait to see or hear about what you are straight out of. So here is my shirt, and hopefully you did find this helpful. If you did, please remember to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the bell for notifications because I do upload new content every single week. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thanks for watching. Bye.